Hi, I'm Jason Wieloch with Wieloch Goldstein at Compass Atlanta. Welcome to the WG YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about what you should expect in the real estate market in Atlanta over the coming year. You know, that's a very interesting question because historically, when rates go up, prices will go down. And we've had such a strong increase in interest rates the last couple of years, many people expected to see that. And it's ironically concerning in many people's minds because it leaves us all wondering, is the market going to have a market or a massive correction ahead? The truth of the matter is we have so many complicated things that have impacted supply in the US. And supply has such a strong relationship to prices as well. And because it's been so low for so long, it's really hard for interest rates to send the market into a downward spiral. What does that mean ultimately? Well, we've got to fix a lot of things. We've got to increase supply, which means baby boomers need to sell their homes, which they didn't and they were expected to. We need to build more homes across the US. We haven't built enough in 15 years. In the short term, if you're a buyer, these things are going to take a while to happen. And so waiting for a market crash to occur may leave you in 2 years saying you wish you had done something in 2024 or 5 because the market is on the upward swing again. And when rates go down, that's going to happen. I've been reading publications for years, and you'll see everything from one expert saying the market's going to go up double digits to go down double digits. And I recommend to take those things with a grain of salt because the experts are wrong half the time or more anyway. Here's the reality. Supply and demand drives all markets. We do have fundamentally low inventory in Atlanta and across the US. We are a long way from having what's considered balanced inventory, which is 6 to 7 months. Currently, it's 2 or 3. Ultimately, in the long term, it would be very hard to see Atlanta crashing outside of external factors in the market. Things like war, which is possible. Things like natural disasters. But those things can occur at any time and without warning and have so for thousands of years. Ultimately, the fundamentals of the market are strong and you should minimize how much you pay attention to those publications. Well, that is always hard to predict, but I would expect a very fickle home buyer and seller population over the next year. We are in an election year. Historically, in election years, people become very hesitant about real estate, and we are having one of the most interesting elections of our lifetime. But one thing we've learned over time is that whatever happens in any election in the US, people just somehow go back to normal when it's over. So don't overvalue chaos when it comes to things like this because it's not the first time. And as it pertains to the market, buyers are going to be more meticulous and discerning in the coming year because it isn't quite as hot as it was a couple years ago. Sellers are going to feel one of two ways. They might be stuck back in time in 2022 where they can set records. So there's going to continue to be some homes that have prices that are not reasonable. And then there will be sellers who pay attention and listen to an agent, prepare their home properly, and understand what it takes to get a home sold because ultimately we're still close to record highs all time in pricing. A classic question that anyone has ever asked when markets are doing well. Here's the answer. We don't ever know when prices are going to go down for sure. And the reason people ask this is because they're concerned about losing money on their house. We forget though that when we buy our primary residence, we generally are there 7 or more years. And in the past few years, it's actually grown to 9+ years on average that people live in their homes. So the point is, if you buy now, you shouldn't even be concerned about what happens next year in the market because over the course of a decade, there are almost always going to be ups and downs in the market. And because even the greatest economic economic experts of the world can't predict this accurately, you shouldn't be online on Google trying to figure that out as well. So think about your investment in a long-term timeline, and you'll be just fine.